Hello and welcome back to my channel. Oh, so I didn't post last week, but that was because we were prepping for a placement which was starting. I thought it was starting on Monday, which was the 31st, but that was a bank holiday, and my brain was like, it's the start of the week, so I kind of missed it. So I'm sorry. We'll try to be more consistent. Just bear with me. So, welcome to another update. But first, he's new. Technically, he's not. It's almost as if I'm going to introduce you guys to a new fluffy animal every week. But I promise you that's not the case. I only have 3. So there's Crowley, and there's this, Amenadiel. Now, if you're fully aware, Lucifer is currently ongoing on Netflix. And Amenadiel is an angel, and he's a black angel, so Amenadiel. So I have both. I have Crowley, a demon. I have Amenadiel, an angel. We'll introduce you to the last one. I won't say the name. But this is Amenadiel, and he'll be joining us today. Say hi. So without further ado, let's get to it. Welcome back. I'm kind of actually using Amenadiel to kind of cover my stomach because I'm going to the gym now, eating less, we're doing weight training. I downloaded a whole program, which is killing me, my entire body is paying me. But I am wearing a muscle fit shirt, which I'm fine with, and my arms are here. But my abdomen is not the most proud at the moment, so you won't see it. But that aside, new life update. Oh well, nothing really specific has happened. This is just me. This is what's been going on with me. Plus, I'm trying to keep myself accountable to try and keep putting stuff out. So, as I said from my last video, I have started placement, and I've been at placement for 1 week, and this placement is very different. In dietetics as an MSc, you have 3 blocks of placements. There's A placement, which is hospital based. Then within that, technically that A placement is 8 weeks, so it's 4 weeks in the hospital, 4 weeks of alternative placement, and we did that with some freelance people. Shout out to Dietitian Ro for that, she was amazing. Then 2 weeks of university based placement, we had some small sessions in school. Then now we have the main thing, so that was kind of getting into it. Then B placement is more independent, and it's 10 weeks. Then C placement is you're basically fully independent. The idea is once you finish, you should be able to practice on your own, get a job. So we're now in B placement, and the reason why I say this is different is because the setting, or well, not the setting, the type of patients I see, or that I will see. So the first placement was fully hospital, and during the 4 weeks there we were rotating, but it was just not your everyday conditions, but regular conditions, nothing super deep. But dietetics, a lot of dietetics, there's a huge communication aspect to it, and from practicing and having been in the A placement, it was not easy, but it was kind of talking to people who are on the same level as you. But in this new placement, I am working with people, I'm going to be working with people with mental health issues. And coming from Nigeria, nobody talks about your mental health. Once you mention mental health, people think you're mad. Then coming here, your eyes are opening, oh, there's a lot of stuff in mental health. And I had my first experience, obviously just watching. I did have the chance to communicate with them, but it was so different. Now, I think I had previously touched on this in the previous video where I was if you're talking in the dietetic aspect of where you're in class and you have to write stuff, I'm not that good. But when it comes to patient interaction, feedback was that I was really good at that. And I stepped into this situation yes, I am good with patient interaction. I'm not that good apparently. Well, in this realm, I'm not apparently that good. the manner of communication is so different. Like, I'm just used to patients who engage with you. As you ask them a question, they respond, sometimes like give you much more information than you're asking for. And now we're in this group of patients who are like, you know that, you know when you're chatting with somebody and the person responds with K after you've like written a whole paragraph. That's kind of this whole thing. So that's something I have to get used to. But in the same vein of one of the reasons why I liked management consulting was because like you could be dealing with a different thing every day. This is different, and I like the challenge, and I am going to get used to it. Oh my god. So that's really what's been happening. On Saturday I decided to go to a bar on my own because I was like, why should I deprive myself of experiences just because I'm alone? I was there for an hour, had one beer, and I walked back. Like, this building's location is very perfect. There are a few bars that are within walking distance. No stress, but we just don't have money to go there on a regular basis. Like, I ordered a calling, and I'm used to calling being like £3 or just under £3, and this was £4, and I'm like, oh, I did not budget for this. But anyway, so next week's video, like, imagine me jumping, like, I want this video to be really short, number one, because like, let's not take up too much of you guys' time, number two, because I don't really have a lot of stuff to talk about. Like, I would love to go into like really serious detail of my entire week, and I might go into, but like, you have to be careful not to like give out any identifiable details because of privacy. So like, I'm still working it out. Imagine when you're trying to do phone, you're like working, trying to work it out in my head. But for now, my classmates, because everybody's kind of like scattered to the winds. Thankfully, I'm in Birmingham because I can't afford to be anywhere else. But next week we're planning a barbecue, so you guys will get to see that if people agree for me to film. And if I remember to take my stuff, because it's just a day thing. Hopefully, I've checked the trains, and trains to Oxford are like pretty expensive. But one of my other classmates is in Birmingham, so we're thinking of everybody in Birmingham. He'll just drive us, and we'll just contribute gas money. Yeah. I need to call my mom this week to be like, it's almost the second week of March, and I remember that I said, I'll ask you for money, yeah. But that is so stressful because the pound now is 700 and something naira, which is insane. I remember a time when a pound was 250 naira. Like, can you imagine? And that was, well, not that wasn't so long ago, because it's been, I'm 26 now. Can you imagine? I'm 26 now. And that happened, I think, we're thinking more along the lines of like SS1, which means that was like 2000, about 16, 15, so like 10 years ago. But that is still a lot of like jump in figures. So I can't just randomly ask for one. But we're looking for work, but we're trying to find work that is only on the weekends because placement is full-time, which kind of limits severely all the options. It's kind of painful. But we move. Update on the fact that, another update, like, this is what happens when you don't plan what you want to say. I think I had it planned, but like I've forgotten what I had planned. I have seen 2 apartments, and apparently the dude who's renting the apartments probably doesn't like me because I sent a message to the realtor that, oh, one of the apartments I saw, the pictures you sent me, that's not the apartment. First of all, she didn't respond, and I had to be like a day later, I was like, hi, what's going on? And she was like, oh, the feedback she got was that I was not interested in any of the apartments. And my brain was like, I've already chatted with my friends about it, and we're like, oh, this is the one we should pick, barring us seeing any other one. So what sort of vibe did I give the guy? Because I was asking all sorts of questions like, oh, payment, how much would it cost? Is this included? Is that included? do we have to pay it up front? Can we do a monthly thing, etc., etc.? So I don't know where he got that vibe, but that's where we are now. I'm hoping that the one we like is still available late next month, but we're still searching. But this just like, and I saw another one, and by the time I was like, you know what, let's arrange a view, and they were like, oh sorry, this is no longer available. The housing market is like, so basically, immediately you find something, you need to get it. This is another thing that nobody prepared you for. The fact that you have to rent. Like, there's this whole thing. I think I might actually do the reel on Instagram where it's like, what is the one thing about adulthood that nobody like prepared you for? And people are doing things like rugs or like, oh, you have to do your own doctor's appointments. My own is like the entire adulting thing. Nobody prepares you for that. Not like, it's just kind of like you're an adult man. They just like throw you out there. But we'll figure it out. Figure it out. Let me think. Is there anything new? No. So there's the gym. This will be the second week because it's a 4-week program, which I'll just repeat month to month. So today was the first day of the second week. Then placement. Oh my god! Like, I was. Oh, slight oversharing. Like, there's this cliche that as medical students learn about new diseases, they begin to think they have those new diseases. So part of like my introductory week, they gave me this student folder which had like information on conditions that I might see, while on placement. And as I was just like, oh, I probably have this symptom. Oh my god, could I be schizophrenic? Now that is not a shade on people who are actually schizophrenic. This is just like my overactive imagination thinking like, okay, you might be. I know I'm not, but that's how my brain was. And I was talking about it with my supervisor, and this is another, I think, while I want to stay in Birmingham to practice dietetics, I need to find somewhere small because my first placement was in a really large team. Like in a single office, we were like 20, and this is a me thing, it's not a them thing, because they seem very friendly, but I'm just the type of person, like, if I feel like, oh, you're alright, I won't approach you to be like, oh, hi. But if it's a small team, I'm like, we can talk. Like, I've had serious conversations with my supervisor this week, or last week. We were talking about her experiences in dietetics, giving me pointers on a project that I have to do, talking about like, oh, what do you prefer, a big team or a small team? And I was talking about why I prefer a smaller team simply because of this type of interaction. But the thing is, like, there are not a lot of hospitals in Birmingham that I think of. So they're large. So like, does that mean I now have to go to some out of the way place that has like 3 dietitians just for the purpose of fitting in? But the Lord will take, you see, my stomach is kind of showing, don't look at it. The Lord will take control. Next week, I'm definitely not wearing a muscle fit shirt. I'm going to wear a regular shirt, or maybe tailored fit, just not muscle fit. This is, yes. So I think we've covered everything that's happened this week and things that might happen next week. Yeah, that's it. So like, hopefully this video has been short. Like, I haven't really given you that much, but like, just for the purpose of like encouragement, please like, share. Like, you can even be like, can you imagine this dude posting this really short video just rambling on about his life, and like, you need to see it because it wasted my time, so I have to waste your time. That would be perfect. So like, share to annoy your friends, share to spread joy about the fact that I'm constantly laughing. And you've seen a beautiful elephant that I got from Asda named Amenity. And subscribe, like, please subscribe. If you see, comment. I am lacking ideas. If you have something you want me to talk about, which reminds me, let's get serious. This is like out of the way, but in my country, which is Nigeria, some shit is happening right now. Our government, like, if you go on Nigerian Twitter, which you can't go on now because they banned Twitter, and I'm like, this is the first steps in a dictatorship and an authoritarian regime. And like, people who are wiser than me and more knowledgeable than me, they've kind of like spotted some other stuff that were kind of like buried in that announcement that are probably more egregious. But I can't talk about that because, as I said, these are more knowledgeable people than I am. But these are signs, and I am fully against it. Twitter is freedom of speech now. Like, but as I'm saying freedom of speech, the genesis of this was that our president tweeted some absolute nonsense in response to some things that were going on in the country, and anybody with common sense will see it for what it was, and he was basically threatening the Nigerian public. So similar to what Donald Trump did when he incited violence. This was basically inciting violence against a particular group of people, or promising violence towards a particular group of people, and Twitter was like, oh sorry, this violates our rules, and deleted it. And I would nickname this dude Nigeria's local toilet, like sewer line, Adamu Shehu Garba, whatever the fucking man's name is, stupid idiot, was hyping this nonsense. Like, how can Twitter like insult the Federacy of Nigeria? I'm like, sorry, Twitter is a private platform. They have rules. You violated their rules. What rules exactly has Twitter violated in your country or in our country to make you do this? So, like, shit is going bad. So, like, as you're watching, if you can educate yourself as much as possible on the situation, tweet about it. Like, international outlets are talking about it now, but because it's an African country, it's Nigeria, it most likely won't continue for long. It will just be like a blip in the news cycle. But if we can keep it up, international pressure exists. Nigeria relies a lot of international trade. If there's international pressure, he will buckle. Unless he wants to be like, I want to show you people my true colors, then he can't hide anymore. Like, it will now be in the open. It's no longer like a sly thing. So, but at the end of that, like, people keep Nigeria in our prayers. Like, this is just the latest in a long line of attacks against free speech, the youth, progress, and revolution. But hopefully everything will work out. Tweet about it, share it, talk to your friends about it. It's part of communication. So then that's the end. So remember, like, share, subscribe, educate yourself on the situation that is going on. Talk about it. If we keep quiet, then it happens. If we keep talking about it, it remains in the public eye and things can't be swept under the rug. So see you next week.